Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We are still in a war in Brazil. I'm going to slow down the speed and get that going. We lost our navies. Stupid. Stupid France. Stupid France. Having a big navy. Stop it. I'm realizing we have a shortage of engines, so I'm going to go ahead and get some motor industries started, and we're going to build them in Michigan, because that just seems like a sensible place for our motor industries. I'm going to throw those at the top of the building queue because I want to be producing my own engines. Oh no! Oh no! There it is. Got it. Got there. So good at things. It does look like our enemies are losing war support at a pretty good clip here in Brazil, and we are as well. So with this ratio, can we hold? I think we can. Hey, law enforcement's up to 3. So, we are... Our defense is good, but we are losing this battle. What do the casualty ratios look like? Our side has taken quite a few more casualties than the enemy. That said, I don't think I'm going to put any more into this. Ooh, we're short on artillery. We lost an interest in Hawaii because our interest in Oceania fell off. I'm going to go ahead and reactivate that because... Wait a minute, hold on. Hold on, we lost our interest in the Great Plains. Oh, because our navies got defeated. That's what happened. Okay, well, we need to get that back. Again, this losing interest for a bunch of weeks thing is not my favorite. I kind of wish it would stop happening. Because it feels like a bug. Oh, the fronts have been separated. Well, how very interesting. It looks like this front is kind of a goof situation. But this one, we might be able to have some success on. We are still essentially winning here. Come on. Don't get there. Don't get there. Oh, assholes. Law debate failed again. I have had a lot of slowdowns here, and I'm not appreciating it. Let me see if I can get another agitator yet. Still not really. There's this guy. He wants Giuseppe Garibaldi. He wants Italy to be unified among a lot of other things, but he also wants universal suffrage. Wild Wild West is going smoothly. Equality for all is what it is. We're working on it. Readmit the secessionist states. That's a process. We're actually going to complete that during the course of this episode. So what else does our market need? Other than apparently its own artillery production. Actually, let's go ahead and get an artillery foundry started. We'll put it in New York. Because I'm seeing now that we are a little bit short on our artillery and military needs. And I think we need another arms industry. We can put that in Virginia. No problem. Okay, Great Plains interest is activated, and these colonies are growing again. Again, not exactly sure. I mean, I know why it happened, because our navies got defeated and we lost some power projection, but it's actually a good thing to call it. Oh, we have war support protection. So we actually are not... We're actually in great shape in this war, assuming we can hold on to Rio de Janeiro, which I think we can. We finished Nitro, so let's take a look at what else we have access to. I think we need better military stuff, so... Is that wise? Is it wise to rush military? No. I think I'm going to go to society. I want nationalism for a little bit of extra authority. That's going to be useful. And then I think next I want to get labor movement, because that's going to be important for knocking down my my landowners. I think that's where we're going to go from here. Meanwhile, we'll work on getting the mines going appropriately, because these mines need to be... Oh, I've got a new method. We need these mines to be producing more, and they're not producing more at the moment. We'll put nitro in the iron mines, and then see where we are from a... Yeah, okay, we are short on explosives. We're producing enough explosives, though. Let's increase the game speed here. No, we're not. Why is this explosives industry in Pennsylvania not hiring? But bombs are expensive. Hey, we got progress on 7%. Oop, I'm looking at Canada. I'm looking at Canada when I should be looking at Pennsylvania. That said, I think increasing these munitions plants and these explosives factories is going to be the right call. I'm going to put the explosives factories first. In fact, I'm going to put these explosives factories at the top, because increasing our explosives output is going to be critical to making sure that this whole thing goes down. It goes down properly. As part of that, let's go ahead and increase the methods of our sulfur mines. And what does the explosive situation currently look like? It's still... We've got the one factory, and the factory has the ability to produce a whole ton of... Like, look at this. Okay, now we're hiring. So, this factory is at 30% productivity, and currently producing 23 explosives, which means at 100% productivity, it's going to produce like 100 explosives. And that's going to be plenty. Our demand is currently 100, and it's going down because of the shortage, but it will be going up soon. The other thing we want to do... Oh, we got some mines, some coal mines in Kentucky not using the Atmo pump engine. Or not using the Atmo pump engine. I'm going to use the condensing engine pump, but... Alright, we're good. We're going to win. We're going to win this war for Brazil. France, no hard feelings. I know you wanted to help your friends, but they don't love you like I do. Only I love you. Love me back, please, France. France senpai. Okay, now we're getting weird. Alright, so readmitting the secessionist states... We're almost there, right? There we go. And our navies are repaired. So does that give us back our interest limit? No, it does not. Interesting. So I think a naval expansion is going to be important in the days going forward. But we actually have the ability to really increase our construction sectors. And I'm going to do that. So let's see. Ooh. We're having a new election, and we've got new parties. We've got a free trade party comprised of just the industrialists, and a patriotic party comprised of just the armed forces. This is probably really good, because it means that, yes, we can form a 100% legitimate government without the industrialists, and without the armed forces. Oh, and we've had a realignment, so cultural exclusion... Oh no, cultural exclusion's doing even worse now, because... The intelligentsia got stronger, but so did the petite bourgeoisie. And the petite bourgeoisie are the ones who are against it. So, this might be a little bit of a headache. We'll see. Alright. So, what else? We're going to need to fight some wars against the Native Americans living over here pretty soon. But I'm not too worried about that. Dissenters break ranks. To outside observers, the intelligentsia may appear firmly committed to the idea of cultural exclusion, but behind this facade of unity, discord has long festered. Now a clique of dissenters have finally had enough and have officially broken with their fellow members over the issue of the reform. For how long have we stood together? How many times have we lent a willing hand your way? Yet our own concerns are left unanswered, our own desires left unmet. If we shall not be heard here, then we shall be so elsewhere. Splitters, may the devil take them, minus 15%, and weaker intelligentsia. Loosen the purse strings, perhaps we can lure some of them back, minus 10%, costs the government some money. Or offer them custodianship over a new draft. It's one setback, but it's 5% enactment chance. I'm actually going to do the second one. I don't want a setback right now. I can afford the cost of it. Anyway, I was talking about increasing the size of my construction sector. What's my... Infrastructure's looking fine in Pennsylvania. So let's go ahead and throw some more construction sectors in here. And some more ones in New York as well. I think infrastructure's doing fine in New York. Yeah, it's getting there. And then that'll put us up to 16. So let's put a couple in Ohio as well. If we got the infrastructure we surely have. We'll put 4 in Ohio. And I'm going to throw those all the way at the top. This is going to significantly increase the price of iron, but it's going to be worth. Alright. Go ahead and pop the game speed up here. Campaign financing. What's the election looking like? Republican Party's got a huge majority. So that's good for us. That's extremely good. Parties, particularly the Patriotic Party, are struggling to raise enough funds for all their campaigning needs this election. Let's see what you men are charging. Fees, yes, that's to be expected. But what's this? A lodging charge? That fancy hotel room could house half a village. And there's enough wine billed here to drown a fish. Votes don't come cheap, sir. You do want to win, right? Some money can be spared for them. 10% momentum, a little cash. Every party can be provided with extra funding this cycle. Oh, that's tempting. Or if a party can't afford a campaign, should it be campaigning minus 10% momentum? These interest groups are going to get stronger again, potentially reasonably soon, and I would like to have them be a little happy. So it might be worth shelling out the cash. That said, I think slowing down the Patriotic Party is just fine. So I'm going to slow down the Patriotic Party. We still have a very strong petite bourgeoisie due to having census suffrage. We're going to have a pretty dramatic realignment of our overall situation during the election. As you can see, our shortage of explosives is slowly going down as our one explosives plant increases its output. In fact, we're very much getting there. But I still don't think it's going to be enough in the long term, so I'm going to throw this one in at the top. And we'll put the artillery factory above that. And all the rest of the stuff we can just knock out whenever available. So, motor industries are nearly built. The joint front has been formed by France. That's interesting. What kind of power block is that? The joint front is a sovereign empire. I still haven't decided what kind of power block to form once I form my power block. A scandal in the District of Columbia. Police have shut down a notorious male brothel. The arrested proprietor has revealed that Charles Finney is part of his clientele, and this information is leaking to the press. An indescribably loathsome scandal has struck the District of Columbia. The captured boys were made to confess, and the Tribune reports that another sensation about this affair will soon burst. 22 men implicated, blue bloods and others, have fled from the United States of America. He must resign. These are Protestant abolitionists, or try to cover up the story. I don't want... Oh, interesting. So because he's in the government, I think, we can potentially get a legitimacy penalty, and I do not want that. So he'll resign. And who do we get instead? Heading up the evangelicals, we have General Philip Sweeney, a different Sweeney, but a Jacksonian Democrat. That is very interesting. That is very, very interesting. That actually opens up a window for us to... Another stall? That actually opens up a window for us to flip over to universal suffrage. And I might take it if cultural exclusion doesn't pan out. Backroom dealings exposed. Prominent members of the intelligentsia, outspoken supporters of cultural exclusion, and close allies of Henry Clay have been exposed in a corruption scandal, having exchanged political favors for personal gifts. One aide was all it took. One boy squeezing acne from his face at the right place at the right time to overhear the howling laughter, smell the rich tobacco blend, and spot Henry Clay's new golden cufflinks. One honest fellow's word to the right ears, and it was all uncovered. So, such is the nature of politics, minus 15% enactment chance. Henry Clay gets a huge popularity penalty. Throw them to the wolves, who must clean up this mess. Bureaucracy penalty, reduce enactment chance. Or we can derive some benefit from participating in ourselves. One setback, small enactment chance, small enactment time penalty, but reduced bureaucracy. I'm gonna go with the first one. That will. Okay, we're good on bureaucracy. That's gonna put us down to 0, but that's only a setback, and then we'll see what our base chances are once we fall back through. Once this here resets. Pawnee diplomatic play. Alright, so that's fine. This is the first of our Native American wars here. They have 3 battalions. I'm not too worried about it. Let's go ahead and grab the Army of Observation. And we'll put them on the front. Army of Observation needs a new leader. What do we got? This guy's meticulous. Thomas Jessup. He seems good. The regular army... Let's set these back to advance. And the Army of Florida needs someone else as well. This guy's a defensive strategist and a romantic. Let's put him in, coach. We are a little bit short on bureaucracy once again. So there's the legislative failure event. Despite many efforts on the part of the government to successfully revive cultural exclusion from its present imbroglio, the law has become to be regarded as nothing but an inevitable failure. That bill? Please don't talk to me about it. I would say it's better to just pretend it never happened, don't you agree? Certainly, but that won't stop that damn fool from asking about it every day. We must sponsor a complete rewrite of the bill. So that's one setback and it clears all these resets. So where are we? 23% success chance, 54% stall chance. If we get some reasonable luck, I think we can make it. So I'm feeling good about our chances overall. What was I about to do? I forget. Like a big hero. Like a huge hero would have done. Are we bringing in engines? We are. So let's go ahead and cut that now that we've got our own motor industries right here in Michigan. And these industries should be hiring. Go ahead and increase the game speed again. French-Prussian rivalry. Movement to preserve racial segregation now exists. Oh, that's looking really bad. So instead of that, here's what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna break off. Oh, it's 20. Man, I really want to try to make this happen. But this could be forever. I can come back to cultural exclusion. I've got another 9 years. Oh, but I'm in study already. Let's go a little longer. If I can get another success chance before the end of 41, if I can get one more success before the end of 41, I'll keep bashing away at it. Otherwise, we'll leave it. Because I do want to try to grab universal suffrage before too long. Let's take a look at trade again. What else are we importing? We're importing clothes, so that's a good indication that we can make a lot of money by building up our textile industry. So let's queue in a little bit of that. We've got... This is a good thing to build up in Massachusetts. Obviously, finances are a little rough due to the fact that we really increased our construction, the size of our construction industry. So we're plugging away at that, but this is gonna be some time. In fact, maybe at the end of this round of construction, we'll just halt and let a little bit of a reserve build up. So there's our election. So how does this realign things? Our options are, I can keep either the industrialists or the armed forces in the government. I don't think I need either of them, though. And high legitimacy is going to be really advantageous to us. So I'm just going to keep this group here. The Republican Party, the Petite Bourgeoisie, the Intelligentsia, and the Evangelicals together in a coalition. A coalition government, that's going to keep us super duper legitimate. Thieves and liars. The movement to preserve racial segregation has begun a propaganda campaign painting African American people as criminals who will be allowed to run rampant under the new cultural exclusion law. Yes, I've read the pamphlet. It's nothing new. The Afro-Americans are thieves. The Afro-Americans are violent thugs. Afro-American culture is inherently corrupt, and desegregation will be the end of the United States of America. The picture of an Afro-American man in rags vaguely resembling my father has never crossed their minds that the reason so many of us live in poverty is because the current laws force us there. We must take a stand against these vile lies. Minus 50 authority, 15% enactment chance. Or let them whinge. Minus 15% enactment chance. Movement to preserve racial segregation gets stronger. I'm going to do the first one. That's going to force me to cut a consumption tax, but that's not actually that much money. So, in fact, if I cut the furniture one... Oh, no, well, now I've run myself... I'm so smart. This is why I'm researching nationalism. So that I can have a little bit more leeway with that stuff. So nobody is getting involved in the oh boy, oh boy. There's a lot going on right now. Defamatory article. A newspaper called the New Jersey Guardian has printed a bigoted article about the Afro-American people living there. We can suppress the article or we can let it be released. He threw the tabloid across the table with a huff. Absolutely vile lies, the lot of it. He eyed the shocked maid's face, then muttered himself. Of course, they'd believe it. Of course they'd believe it. He hadn't given them proof to the contrary. Suppress it, minus 5% authority, or ignore it, minus 1 standard of living. I think we got to ignore it. I want to get back up above 100 authority, because I need to be able to use my authority. Oh, I was going to fix my freaking bureaucratic capacity, and we're going to do that by switching another one of our bureaucratic centers over to the higher, over to standardized filing system. In fact, let's do that with all of them, because that's going to give us plenty of authority to play with, and we just increase the amount of paper that we have available. Alright, a foreign manifesto. This recently translated works of Demetria Merriam, an honorable abolitionist from the intelligentsia, have become popular within the movement to preserve racial segregation. The relationship has developed to the point of Demetria Merriam openly endorsing the movement. That's curious, given Demetria's ideology, but, you know, it is what it is. And for a whole large class, there is no other road, especially for a nation so eminently practical as the American. The great thing is to get the working class to move as a class, that once obtained, they will soon find the right direction, and all who resist will be left out in the cold with small sects of their own. Our struggle is an international one, stronger movement. Ooh. Or the foreign interference ought to be punished, more radical movement. Oh. But weaker movement, and angry evangelicals. I don't want to make the evangelicals angry, so I'm going to have to go with the first one. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. A peculiar reconciliation. This isn't supposed to pop off until Reconstruction is done. Or no, this is the reincorporation. This is the reincorporation. With years having passed since the passage of slavery banned, pro-slavery... Okay, here we go. Pro-slavery ideals among the Southern planters have faded significantly. In the echoing manor halls of the Southern planters' domain, the words which once lambasted the government for their tyranny in taking their slaves had begun to shift. Now, instead of open condemnations and calls to the restoration of the institution, there are suggestions for alternatives. Sharecropping, the use of prisoners, a dozen means of disenfranchisement to restore what they saw as the natural order. But none dared to raise the idea of openly flaunting the decree. Not now, at least, when the government seemed vigilant, and the formerly enslaved were still wary. For now, at least, they would simply work with what we had. Now is the time to come together and forgive. Reduce political strength from discrimination. Reduced extra radicals from discrimination. Southern planters lose the pro-slavery ideology, +3 interest group approval. Or we cannot forgive the perpetrators of this crime. They lose the pro-slavery ideology, 2% of upper start and pops become more radical, and the Southern planters get a ton weaker and angrier. I think we're going to go with the second one. I think keeping the Southern planters weaker in the long term is really, really critical right now, because they are starting to gain power back as time goes on. They do still have a huge debuff due to the Civil War, but keeping them shut completely the heck down is critical for our long-term strategy. Lobbyist lectures in Washington. A man employed by a powerful member of the American-British Fellowship is delivering lectures and pamphlets addressed to targeted constituencies in Washington. One lawmaker writes to a fellow politician, each day he finds me. Each day he finds me. I know not how. I am quite disturbed. What are his aims? That hired emissary of the American-British Fellowship haunts the doors of the American Assembly, much like the ghost of the murdered Banquo. Make it clear lobbies are responsible for the emissaries they hire. +5 legitimacy, weaker industrialists. Or any concerns about the emissaries' behavior are unfounded, stronger industrialists. I think slightly stronger industrialists, well, weaker industrialists doesn't really do anything for us either way. So let's do it. Alright, Philip Sweeney retires. Oh, interesting. And the evangelicals have left the movement to preserve racial segregation. So they're now headed up by a traditionalist. That's really unfortunate because I was really hoping that I could use the fact that they had a Jacksonian Democrat in charge to make universal suffrage happen, and now I can't do that. So that's a tragedy. Alright, filing cabinets. The use of filing cabinets in the government administration has just drastically increased the effectiveness of state bureaucracy. The future isn't in flying like a bird, nor in roaring along in a train. No, the future is in filing. I love bureaucracy, 5% bureaucracy, or store information about our citizens. Progress on identification documents. I'm going to take the progress on identification documents. So, once again, that's going to get us a chunk of... It doesn't look like that much progress right now, but trust me, it is. The innovation limit for these ones is way higher due to us not having finished everything in Tier 2. But once we're finished with everything in Tier 2, it'll be a lot more. Alright. This cultural exclusion thing... This cultural exclusion thing isn't actually taking that long. I'm just having tons of events here. That's why it feels like this is taking forever. Stupid General Sweeney, stop it. Nerd. We're going to win this war very soon, so I'm not even... Hey, there we go. Perfect. That demobilizes those units, which in turn makes things easier for us. I'm actually going to throw a little bit more stuff in the construction queue. We're going to need more universities. We've got a level 3 one in New York, a level 1 one in Kentucky, and a level 1 one in Massachusetts. We're going to increase the size of those. We're going to put... Go back and close this. We're going to put some universities in Ohio and Pennsylvania as well. And I think we're going to put some in Indiana. So, moving right along here. Gold discovered in South Dakota. Gold Rush. We're going to get this event a lot as the time goes on, but for now it's new and fresh. Gold has been discovered in American South Dakota. People from all corners of the earth are converging there, confident that they will discover the next great lode and become incredibly rich. It was a single misplaced foot in the river. His son, quick at his side, hoisting him from the water before the currents claimed him. Then, as the sediment rose with both his leg and his walking stick, they saw it, the unmistakable shimmer of Plutus's very blood. By the next morning, they were both at the river with sieves and shovels. By the night, the whole town had joined them. I can go with spread the word, which gives a huge boost to migration attraction for South Dakota, or I can say, it's mine, it's all mine, which gives a moderate-sized boost to migration attraction, and a Goldfields throughput bonus. I'm going to go with the second one, because I love cash, as you will no doubt become aware. Alright, 37%. Come on, give me, put me in voting. Put me in voting, coach. A setback? That's not what I wanted. Gorsh! It's okay, it's okay. We can still take one more setback. Ooh, 40 acres and a mule. In the war against the secessionists, many enslaved people believed that once they were freed, they would have the right to own the land they'd been forced to work on as slaves. People in Mississippi have pressed the issue with local authorities who are turning to us for direction. Land is what we need. I can't feed myself with a ballot box. Give me a plot of land I've been working on so I can feed my family. I'm going to authorize... Once again, this is happening in Mississippi. So, again, how many people are we talking about here? Mississippi. No, that's not how we get here. We get here through here. Mississippi. Ole Miss. No industrialists there. Aristocrats only. They're all Dixie. Alright, but that's still only 2.7k pops. So, yeah, let's redistribute that land. The lamb zone. Alright. There will come a time when we'll be going after Mexico, but not yet. There's a Sioux diplomatic play. That's just fine. We'll go ahead and grab the Army of Observation once again. So the Great Sioux Nation also has 3 battalions. Again, not super worried about that. Let's go ahead and throw these textile mills at the bottom of the queue, because I want to make sure this is going to be imposing additional costs on us, and I might need to cut it for a bit while I deal with our financial situation. We are still at middle taxation. Do we have something that's reducing our authority right now? Minority protests, greasing palms, dealing with corruption. We're getting a lot of bureaucracy penalties at this stage of the game. Law enforcement is up at 4. Very nice. That is very important. I think getting it up to 5 is going to be worth it. Oh, come on! I had all these debate events originally, and then it just goofed off and went sideways. Redeemers, District of Columbia. A coalition of former Confederates and Confederate sympathizers have won control of Louisiana's state government through means fair and foul, threatening the ongoing process of Reconstruction. Draw a line on... Sorry, this is just... I'm having a case of brain bad right here. There's a very important technical distinction about a very well-documented psychological condition of brain bad that I'm having today. I need water. The solution is water. Delicious water. Alright. A coalition of former Confederates and Confederate sympathizers have won control of Louisiana's state government through means fair and foul, threatening the ongoing process of Reconstruction. Draw a line. On one side of which you see intelligence, virtue, self-respect, and democracy, and on the other the absolute, unchecked political supremacy of brute force and terror. And there you will behold not one attribute of free government, but the saddest tyranny of the Old South, desperately clawing back power that ever cursed this earth. Reconciliation demands an accord with these men, or arrest them and install a new state government. I'm going to go with the first one. This is going to once again get us one more state. I'm concerned that we seem to have lost the states that we claimed earlier, but I'm, you know, hoping I can still achieve what I want to achieve. Bessemer process, very nice. This increases the efficiency of our steel mills significantly. How's coal in the market, though? That's the question. Coal is reasonably expensive. Still, it's going to be more efficient in the long run, and the private sector can build up the coal mines. So we'll flip over to Bessemer process anyway. Alright. Why are we... Oh, we're at no progress, because we're in a diplomatic play. I'm like freaking out. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Did I lose my interest again? No, that's just the mechanic. That's just the way the news goes. Alright. There's the war kicking off. I think we'll get started with this war next time. But it's actually pretty much the end of the episode, so I think that is all we're going to do for now. So, we've... let me get to the end of it. Let me just do one more step. Come on. Success? Success at 20%? 1 in 5. We've had a bunch of these and have only had 1 success so far. Hey! Great. We are in voting. Alright, so we are now... Chances are complex. But we're spitting distance from getting cultural exclusion enacted, and that will be a huge win for us. So at this point, I'm going to leave it. We'll come back next time and see if we can make it happen. For now, I've had fun. I hope you've had fun, and I'll see you on the other side.